500 years. 500 years you've been in minds, creating two minds, shifting opinions, confusion and conflicting theories, conspiracies in books after plays after books after film. Are you following me? What do you make of all this? Bit bland, I know. Could do with a touch-up paint job, don't you think? Oh, that's your field, isn't it? Getting itchy? Fancy giving us a makeover? Well, we wouldn't want you to start something you couldn't finish, now would we? But over 500 years ago, you painted a picture of a woman. This woman. Not so smiley now, are we, sweetheart? What's the matter, Lisa? Why the long face? Nothing? No comment? Well, it's understandable. Weird place, strange situation. I've got a question for you. How long did he have you posing for? Was it a long sitting? Is that what the smile was all about?
What is this all about?
Not actually finished yet, not actually talking to you. Would appreciate it if you wouldn't interrupt. Lisa, sweetheart, what was on your mind? There's that smile. There it is. Well, I can see why you wanted to capture it, Leo, but the question is, what was behind it?
Why?
She speaks.
Can I speak now?
You always could, I just didn't want you to.
Who are you?
No. You had a lifetime of questioning. It's my turn now. You provide the answers.
The answers to what?
Well, it could be a million questions, but it's really only just one. When you painted this woman, when you were staring into her eyes and examining every inch of her and committing her image for all eternity on a piece of wood, what was it about her that made you paint her smile the way you did? Because, see, I've got a little theory of my own. History tells us she was the wife of Francesco di Bartolomeo de Zanobi del Giancondo. And aside from being quite a mouthful, it's also totally irrelevant. She was pregnant, wasn't she? And not by him. Well, you get where I'm going with that, Leo? Anything you want to tell us?
I fear you have not done your research.
Then enlighten me.
I cannot say.
Thought not.
If you just...
No. You cannot dictate the flow of this conversation.
Well, I can see that.
Still with the interruptions. Not too clever, are we, Leo?
Look, I'm sorry.
You will be. You done with your yabbering? All right. Theory Mark II. You can't provide any answers because you don't have any. Oh, what do you think of that? And this isn't just me talking. That's experts, art historians, scientists, public opinion. You had all these questions and no answers. You had a whole pile of ideas and no conclusions because behind it all was nothing. 6 complete works. Dozens of projects, unfinished, unrealized. You had a lifetime. You didn't die young, poor, or destitute. You had a lifetime, and you only completed 6? Not very impressive when you break it down like that, is it?
This is unfair.
Quiet. And what about your inventions? I mean, granted, you were ahead of your time. You were thinking out of the box. I'll give you that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, but did any of them work? Well, let's see. Your flying machine. Nope, didn't work, didn't get a meter off the ground.
Well, I knew that. I tried it myself.
Not finished. And what about your helicopter? Powered by 4 men. Interesting concept, totally unrealistic.
Why?
Well, because you see with a helicopter, you want the blades to rotate, not the body of the craft.
Oh, yes, I can see.
Yeah, what about your tank?
What?
Well, your wooden wigwam shed thing on wheels.
It's more about the aesthetics on that
Oh,
one.
yes, well, I can understand that. But what was it exactly supposed to protect the soldiers from? The rain? But I digress. The point I'm making is you're supposed to be this great artist, this master inventor, a scientist who was an artist, whose art was science, and science was art. Well, it's not quite on the mark, is it? I mean, in truth, I could sit down right now and draw the next space rocket, but it doesn't mean it would work. It doesn't mean it would ever work.
Go on, then.
What?
Sit down and draw the next space rocket.
Oh, I see. You're going with that one, are you? At least I tried. Well, here's the rub. There are millions of crazy people out there throughout time drawing pretty little pictures on napkins of their ideas. What makes you more sane than them? What makes you more of an artist than they are? This is all rhetorical. I've got more to say.
Oh, good.
I know that the common argument about her is that it's all down to the individual. Interpretation. But where has that attitude gotten us over the years? Ambiguity leads to multiple conclusions to discussion, discussion to argument, argument to conflict. Our whole world is crashing down around our ears because of conflict of interpretation, of politics, history, religion. Do you actually believe there would be this much chaos in the world if people had definite rules? If they knew what was true and what was false? If they didn't have to decide for themselves and risk getting it wrong? Am I so wrong to want answers?
I'll give you an answer, but I'm not sure it's one that you'll want. Earlier, you asked me if he kept me sitting for long, and the answer is yes. And also no. Yes, because by the clock on the wall, it was a long time, but no, because it didn't feel like a long time. I believe some later genius used the word relative, and that is what I mean. Do you understand?
No, I don't.
You seem to want to define the world with definite parameters, but I'm telling you that even time is not constant.
Of course it is. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, years, one after the other. It's a perfect example of how parameters can be kept.
No, you don't understand me. Time may appear to be constant, regular, measurable, but only when we're watching the hands of a clock. And when I was sitting for Leonardo, I wasn't watching the hands of his clock. I was watching him.
But what does any of this have to do with your smile?
The Italians have a word for my smile.
Okay, what is it?
Fumato. And it means blurry, ambiguous, up to the imagination. Do you even think that if we were given all the answers, we would still have the ability to think?
Do you believe in inspiration? That spark? A sudden epiphany within you that causes you to see exactly what it is you must do. A bell sounds and you know it's something that must be recorded, written down, committed. But you don't necessarily know why. Does it matter if you don't know why?
I don't know.
Well, of course you don't know, because that question has no answer. I may not have known the answers to everything in my lifetime, but perhaps I knew that one day the answers would come. All that was needed was some time.
But you never finished anything.
Yes, so you keep saying. But I started many things. Tell me, you've heard of my bridge, haven't you?
No.
I am surprised. I designed a bridge for an inlet of the Bosphorus called the Golden Horn for the Sultan at the time. A man with small horizons did not believe it was possible, and so my design was never realized. But correct me if I'm wrong. Only last year, the Turkish government decided to resurrect and construct my original design to span the Golden Horn. What happy symmetry, you must agree.
Well, perhaps.
I'm not quite done yet. A little-known sketch of mine of a watch face inspires a watchmaker to create a new timepiece. My diving suit spurred on the inventors of your present-day version, and my tank may be useless in the face of modern-day weaponry, but at the time it was a wholly original military idea and a little taste of what was to come. And I believe that in 2005, a heart surgeon was inspired by one of my drawings to pioneer a new way to repair damaged hearts. Now, who would have thought that I would be mending broken hearts 486 years after my death? And Lisa, my Mona Lisa, Who knows how many thoughts and ideas she has been responsible for? Should it be why it has inspired, or simply that it has inspired?
Do you even know why you were smiling?
When I was smiling, I was looking into the eyes of a clock, and it was not moving, because time stood still when Leonardo painted me, and time remains frozen whenever you look into my eyes. And it is in that moment in time that you can find the answer of your own. It is not for me to find it for you.
500 years ago, I created an image that remains mesmerizing to this day. And 500 years ago, I created ideas that did not blossom in my lifetime. But that is not to say they have failed to blossom since. You talk of order, of answers, of clarity, but you have forgotten what is joyful in the world. And that is a chance to choose, to create, to imagine. What is life without mystery? What is an idea without interpretation? What existence would we be doomed to lead if we did not have the space to wonder at creation? Let us debate no more. Let us sit in silence and appreciate a moment of beauty.